Right, welcome to another episode of Warhammer 40,000. It's 2,000 points, it's Challenger Scorpion. Mitch Farrington has returned and he has come back with his Orks, a new list for them, new codex as well here for the Orks. And they'll be taking on the Thousand Sons in this fight, fighting across this Martian landscape here, rugged hills and terrain at this end of the board, and then a factory complex here and pipelines across this side here. But across this terrain, the Orks will do battle with the Thousand Sons Chaos Space Marines. Okay, so 2,000 points of Thousand Sons here. It's a battle-forged army, it's battalion, and I've got a Supreme Command detachment as well. This is the number of command points I have. I've spent an extra command point here on an extra relic in this list. So I've got 5 HQs in total. Airman on a Disc of Tzeentch here. I'll run through Psychic Powers in just a moment. Then I've got 1, 2, 3 Exalted Sorcerers to make up this Supreme Command detachment here. So these have all been given names here. There's Disco Inferno on the Disc of Tzeentch. They've all got Warp Flame Pistols and the Staves. Then this one here, Beaker, the one with the beak. Yeah, Exalted Sorcerer. And then here, same configuration for this one here called Chicken Wing. Demon Prince here is the Warlord. Pair of Malefic Talons and Wings for him. He's carrying a relic. It's the Dark Matter Crystal. That will let that model or another unit within range relocate just once during the game. And then Alpha Stride is his Warlord trait, and he can advance and charge and reroll charges for him. Then for troops, we've got 4 troops in this list just to build up the battalion. There's a unit of Rubik Marines here, 10 of them, 2 Warp Flamers. There's an Aspiring Sorcerer with the Stave and Warp Flame Pistol. There is a Soul Reaper Cannon in here, and the rest are armed with the Inferno Bolters. Then 3 units of 10 Zangors, they're all armed with Zangor Blades. Then have 2 Mauler Fiends with the Lasher Tendrils and Mauler Fiend Fists. And then 2 units of Terminators here, Scarab Occult Terminators, all armed with the Inferno Combi Bolters. There is a Soul Reaper Cannon in there, the Hellfire Missile Rack, and then Aspiring Sorcerer in each with Stave and Inferno Combi Bolter. So for Psychic Powers, a confused mess here, but it makes sense to me. So I've marked these out. Demon Prince is carrying Gaze of Fate and Infernal Gaze. Then the Terminators, one of them's got Doombolt, the other has Tzeentch's Firestorm. Then Rubik Marines, Weaver of Fates. Then Ahriman himself, Treason of Tzeentch, Gift of Chaos and Infernal Gateway. And then the Exalted Sorcerers, Beaker has Death Hex and Glamour of Tzeentch. Chicken Wing has Temporal Manipulation and Prescience. And then Disco Inferno has Warp Flame and Diabolic Strength. So a vast array of different psychic powers here that the Thousand Sons can call upon as they take on the Orks. Special shout out here to Marcus Anthony. He's a gold level supporter here for Patreon. If you're interested in supporting the club here at SSWG, then check out the Striking Scorpion 82 Patreon page. Alright, so that's the list for the Thousand Sons. Mitch Farrington has returned with his Orks. We'll take a look and see what he has in his list. Okay, so a bit of a contrast here to the Thousand Sons, a mighty horde list here for the Orks. Mitch will run through what he has.
This is my 2,000 points of Orks. It's 2 battalions, so it's 2 HQ, 3 troops in each one. So the first one is here. We've got a Weird Boy, a Big Mech with a custom force field, 2 units of 10 Grots, and a unit of 20 Shooter Boys with a Knob and Power Claw. The second battalion is a War Boss with a custom shooter and the Relic Big Chopper, and then a War Boss with a Power Claw, custom shooter, and he has the Buzz Bomb Relic for Snake Bites. And then for troops, there is 3 units of 30 boys. Each one has a Knob with Power Claw. For elites, there's 2 units of 10 Tank Busters. Each unit has the Bomb Squigs as well. Then there's a Knob with Banner, represented by a Storm Boy. And then for HQ, for heavy support, there's 5 Killer Cans, a unit of 3 and a unit of 2, and then a unit of 3 mech guns, each with a smasher gun.
Right, so that's Mitch's list here. Should be a fascinating game. Such a contrast here. A vast horde of greenskins against the highly elite Thousand Sons and all of their sorcery. We'll go on to scenario and deployment next for this game. Okay, so the scenario that we're going to play in this game is called Dominate and Destroy. It's from Chapter Approved 2017, Eternal War. There's 6 objectives on the board here, so we'll just call these out now. There's one just tucked behind the containers over there. This is the Thousand Sons deployment zone here. It is Spearhead Assault is the deployment zone, so it's a triangle running up in this direction, so armies are going to be playing from end to end. Centre of the board is just marked there, and the Orks will be deploying at this end with the majority of the objectives. Looking like an uphill struggle here for the Thousand Sons immediately, but we'll keep going here. We haven't even deployed yet. So on the edge here, another objective. Then objectives, one here just outside Ork deployment zone, one tucked nicely inside the deployment zone, one on the edge of their deployment zone here, and then the last objective again tucked nicely in the Ork deployment zone just there. So the aim of the game is to dominate and destroy. You've got to sit on top of the objectives. So points can be achieved here in this game. If you control an objective at the end of the turn, you get a point. It doesn't accumulate, it doesn't build up, it's just 1 point every turn. So it's as many objectives as possible, each of those picking up a point. Usual rules for that, objective secured and so on, for troops choices and model count as well. So there's also Slay the Wall, First Blood and Linebreaker, and it is Dominate and Destroy, so there are victory points available, 1 point for each enemy unit destroyed also in this game. So I think we can expect a good number of points being scored here by both of the armies. So that is the scenario. We'll go on to deployment now, start alternating placing units on the board. So the terrain that we're using in this game, the battle mat is from gamemat.eu, so you can check them out. They do all sorts of game mats. This is 6x4. The mat rolls out nice and flat here, nice and quiet for dice rolling. Just gives you a nice coloured surface. And then we're using some of the terrain from gamemat.eu as well, this rugged terrain. I've just put some stones around the bases just to blend it all in and put that terrain together. And then some of the containers that we're using. This set here is from the Chem Zone terrain set from gamemat.eu as well. And some of the pipes as well, actually. Their system mixed in with Games Workshop pipes as well. So check out gamemat.eu. They do all sorts of battle mats and terrain available from them. Alright, so deployment done here for both sides. We'll cover the Thousand Sons first of all. They want to be aggressive, but yet need to be cautious, I think, at the same time. So there is an objective just here. So we've put a unit of Zangors across here. Araman, 2 Exalted Sorcerers, Chicken Wing and Beaker just behind. Then the 2 Mauler Fiends, next to them is the Demon Prince, Disco Inferno just behind there as well. And then across the other side holding the objective on the left flank with the Thousand Sons is 2 units of Zangors. We've paid an extra command point and put these into the warp, and these 2 units of Terminators into the warp as well. So a lot of the elite heavy infantry of the Thousand Sons not on the board yet. Then for the Orks, Mitch saying he's running out of space to deploy his models here. The Orks have virtually filled out the entire wedge here with vehicles, artillery and infantry. So 1, 2, 3 units of Ork boys. Remember, there is the Weird Boy, he's here, so you can make one of these units jump across the board. 2 war bosses. That's the wire banner just there with the rocket. And then here is the big mech with the custom force field. 2 units of killer cans. And Mitch making use of the Grot Shield special rules here. So tank busters, Grots in front, and then repeating that same formation across here. Tank busters and Grots have been stuck out the front to absorb any hits coming through. And then here the artillery has deployed right in the centre. Already Mitch holds 1, 2 objectives, 3 objectives here, and then virtually will be on to the fourth one. That puts the Thousand Sons at a disadvantage immediately here. The pressure on the Thousand Sons is they've got to chew through this lot somehow and try and get onto these objectives. It looks like a very difficult scenario for them, but Warhammer 40,000 can go either way. We've both played plenty of games where there's been some surprises for sure, and even our previous encounters in different Challenger Scorpion games, there's been some surprises. So hoping for a big surprise here as well for the Thousand Suns. We'll see. We'll go on to the first turn. So this is the scary bit here. A roll of dice. I have the silver dice of destiny. Mitch has the red dice of blast. He's rolled a 6. I need a 5 or a 6 here, or there's trouble for the Thousand Suns. I've just rolled a 6 as well. So now you can try and seize initiative if you wish. I'd imagine Mitch will try and get another. Gosh, purely cocked dice. That's a 3. All right, Thousand Suns will go first. Interesting. We don't particularly have a gun line here, so it's not sure how much damage we can inflict, but we'll go first here. So Thousand Suns will take the initiative here and go first in this battle. Turn 1 coming up next for the Forces of Chaos. All right, so we're on turn 1 here for the Thousand Suns, just contemplating what to do. Got to be as cunning and as wise as possible to deal with these orcs. Can't take them all on at once. Got to try and bite chunks off this orc army, I think, is the best approach. But time ticks away here for the Thousand Suns as the points will flow in for controlling these objectives. We'll go on to movement now, see what the Thousand Suns decide to do. All right, so movement done here for the Thousand Suns. We are going to play aggressive with them. We could have brought some of the reserves down on turn 1 within our own deployment zone, but we haven't, so we've left the Terminators and the Rubik Marines off the board for now. Zangors have moved up onto this objective. Then the 2 Maulafines have gone ahead 10, and then behind them the Sorcerers have made advanced moves here, rolled 2-1, so slow here from Chicken Wing and Beaker. At the back, Disco Inferno's moved up and advanced, 14 in total. Jumped with the Demon Prince here, 12, and then Araman's moved up on his disc as well. We've brought a unit of Zangors to join in as well. They've advanced, a roll of 5 for them, so 11 inches in total. And the other unit of Zangors is sat on the objective. So we'll get 2 points at least this turn for the Thousand Suns. So that's movement done. We'll go on to Psychic Phase next. Alright, so Psychic Phase resolved here. Not too good. We tried to cast Warp Time here and failed. Then tried to cast Glamour of Zinch here to put -1 onto him and failed. Number of smites did go off. Mitch using the Snakebite clan culture, so number of 6 is rolled. But casualties 3 from here, 2 from this unit of boys. That's it. So 5 casualties in total. No shooting phase here for the Thousand Sons. Their firepower is off the board or out of range here at this stage. And then no charges to make either. So turn 1 will finish here. Just some strange electrical smite powers being used here against the Orks. A number of their limp bodies dropped to the ground, smouldering here, smoke coming from their eye sockets. But there's another 100 or so to replace the ones that have fallen. So an initial warning here from the Thousand Sons, but I don't think Orks will take much notice of that. Just a few boys have been expended. The Green Tide now prepares to move. I'd imagine Mitch will surge ahead, but we'll see what he decides to do now as we go on to the first turn coming up next for the Orks. The Thousand Sons will pick up 2 points. They're off to a start here, picking up 2. We're going to turn 1 now for the Orks. All right, so movement done here for the Orks on turn 1. Not sure if we covered psychic powers. What power is he carrying?
+1 attack, warpath.
Warpath, okay, so he can grant that. So there will be a psychic phase here for the Orks. So movement, as predicted, the boys have surged ahead. There's advanced moves have been made here. So these 3 units of Ork boys moving ahead. They've got war bosses nearby, so they will be able to charge. WoW banners made an advanced move as well. Shooter boys have surged ahead, now claiming this objective. Remain stationary here, held back with the tank busters for now. Grot screen in place, and just manoeuvring here on this right-hand side with them as well. Oh, I see what he's doing. Spreading them out to stop Terminators from arriving. Okay, the guns remain where they are. They do have range 48, excellent range for them. And then the killer cans following up behind the Ork boys. So that's movement done for the Orks, nice and straightforward for them. Everything that the Orks have is on the board, and they certainly are making their presence felt for sure. Dominate and destroy are the name of the scenario. Orks dominating this side of the battlefield for sure. We're going to Psychic Phase next. We'll see what the weird boy can do. Alright, so Psychic Phase, nice and straightforward here. Failed with Warpath, but then passed because all the Ork boys nearby psyching up the weird boy there to make that power go ahead. Mitch has cast +1 attack onto this unit of Ork boys here, the ones that are quite likely to make contact with these Mauler Fiends, and if not beyond that as well. That's Psychic Phase complete. We're going to Shooting Phase next. There'll be a fair bit here for the Orks. Alright, so Shooting Phase going ahead here. Shooter boys have fired. Big shooter down here and missed. They did advance, so -1 to the hit rolls there. And then across here, some shooter shots coming through. And no hits here as well. So nothing so far. There's 3 killer cans. I'm range 24 of this Mauler Fiend. So 4s to hit here. Gets a hit. That'll be 3s for a wound. The wound does come through. We'll drop down to, it's -2, so we'll drop down to 5 up. Invuln save here. No, we'll leave it at that. So we'll take 3 damage. So we'll drop down to 9 wounds remaining on this Mauler Fiend. So Shooting Phase, it's not too eventful here. Smasher guns firing through and 0 impact from them. Mitch was firing here against this damaged Mauler Fiend. So 3 damage just coming through from these killer cans. 3 shots coming in. And we used a command reroll. Actually, one of the Smasher gun shots did get through. We failed a save, so command rerolled. It did get a 5 for our invuln save to pass that to block that damage. So command points, we have 6. Mitch still has 12. But Shooting Phase resolved here. Sluggers couldn't fire their advance. That's pistol shots. These shot through, but needed 6s because they advanced as well. So just a total of 3 wounds dealt out on the Mauler Fiend here, and that's it. So maybe combat, if combats go ahead, may prove more effective. We'll go on to charges and Overwatch next for the Orks on turn 1. Right, so charges have gone ahead. A couple of here we go rolls being used, a command reroll being used also to make sure these boys have made it in. Mitch just stringing a few of the models out to make sure he gets the WoW banner bonus as well, +1 to the hit rolls. These Orks will be hitting on 2s. I don't think I've ever experienced Orks hitting on 2s before in close combat. So made it in here. Remember, there'll be consolidation moves to go ahead as well. No heroic interventions have taken place yet. Potentially could do here with the Demon Prince. So made it into combat here, made it into combat there. No Overwatch at all, and these charges have gone ahead. Alright, so we're going to go into this combat here. Mitch has made his pile-in move. So all the models in base contact, plus the ones within an inch. It's a total of 80 attacks coming through. There's 5 attacks each. It's a big mob, so you get +1 attack. Big chopper, +1 attack. and then the psychic power, warpath, +1 attack. It's a total of 5 attacks each. It's 80 attacks in total, and there'll be 5 attacks from the war boss as well. So this Mauler Fiend should die. Mitch is also playing, if that wasn't enough, a stratagem here for the snake bites, +1 to wound against vehicles. So the Mauler Fiend is a vehicle, he'll get +1 to wound, which will be 4s to wound instead of 5s. Alright, so 80 attacks. We've loaded Mitch up here, has to use both of his hands, and we've had to give him a special tray here as well to contain all the dice. So away you go, 80. I think it's the debut for 80 dice.
Hitting on 2s.
Hitting on 2s. So just going to remove the 1s. Unbelievable. So attacks coming through on a scale that we've not seen before here. I think the Mauler Fiend is in trouble.
4s.
Yeah, we're in on 4s now, so the 1s have been removed.
It wasn't so good. Well,
there's loads here, absolutely loads. Okay, so Mauler Fiend should die. We'll get a 3+ save though, so we should save 2/3 of the damage coming through, but it's just those 1s and 2s that will cause trouble. Alright, so saves here, they're just about balanced into one hand. 3+. It's not a bad roll here, actually. It's actually 4 wounds caused. The Mauler Fiend is still alive here on 5 wounds left. We'll see if the Orc War Boss can finish him off. He may well be able to. It'll be 5 attacks here, needing 3s, because the -1, then +1. So 3 get through.
I want to command roll one of them.
Bit of pressure here now. The Mauler Fiend's on 5 wounds remaining. It's not been destroyed here. First Blood's still available to pick up in this game as well. He's not going to command reroll hit here, so it's 3. 2 wounds get through.
3 wounds.
So, 2's 2 wounds, yes, because it would be 3s, then +1. Okay, and then we'll go for 5+ invuln saves. None. Okay, so wounds have come through. Here's 3 in total. I'm going to command reroll. I failed my saves. I'm going to command reroll one of them here and try and get a 5+ to keep this Mauler Fiend alive. No. So we'll roll a 5+ to keep this stratagem. No, or a command point. Alright, so we're down to 5. 3d3 damage. Mitch should destroy the Mauler Fiend here, which he does. 6 wounds, 5 required. So Mauler Fiend destroyed. I was going to say I'd like to blow up, but I'd rather not here with my characters nearby. So we'll roll a 1. Alright, Mauler Fiend destroyed first. Blood picked up. This is a kill points game as well, so another point picked up. Also, Mauler Fiend is gone. Alright, so Mitch has now moved on to the fresh unit here, moving those around with a pile-in move and getting ready to fight. This shouldn't be as effective as across here. This Mauler Fiend's taken no damage so far, but we'll get the tray again and the dice roll up the next lot of attacks against the second Mauler Fiend. Alright, so 68 attacks in total. This is regular Orc Boy attacks. 10 of them aren't within, and they have to trail back this way anyway to reach the WoW banner. So they will be on 2s to hit though. So that's the sound that every Orc player likes to hear. Dozens and dozens of dice being rolled. Just going to take all the 1s away, and then we're all up to wound. Needing 5s this time. Okay, so we're on 5s to wound now. Still loads here. Mauler Fiend will take some wounds for sure. But is it enough to reduce the wounds down enough to destroy it? There's 12 wounds to try and get through here. There's the boss knob to fight as well with his power claw. Right, so I'm going to roll up my saves here. Needing 3+. There's trouble here. There's big trouble here for the Mauler Fiend. It's not destroyed, but we have failed 8 saves and 4 wounds remain. So 4 attacks here with the knob. He's got to try and get through 4 wounds. Looking for 3s. They've all hit. Nice.
3s again. 3s to wound.
3s to wound, yeah.
I'm going to command point.
Just going to command reroll 1. Okay.
Oh.
No, and we'll try and steal here on a 5+ with Helm of the Third Eye. No, okay. So 1 wound comes through. We'll go down to a 5+ invuln save, which we pass. Alright, Mauler Fiend's still alive. Alright, so we fight the Mauler Fiend. It's got 1 less attack than usual because of its damage bracket. So we'll get 3 attacks with the Mauler Fiend fists, needing 4s. It's unmodified weapon skill. We get 2 hits, 2 for wounds. Yeah, 2 wounds come through. It's -3. So Mitch needs 666 to save a couple of these Orc boys from being crushed here. No, and then the second wound that comes through, needing 666. No, right, it's 2 boys crushed under the feet of the Mauler Fiend. Lasher Tendrils needing 4s. Got 2 more. 3s to wound. 2 more. Okay, so this is 2 damage, -2, so double 6 required for the snakebite culture. No, alright, so 2 more boys brought down. Right, so this combat phase resolved, and morale, which is not going to be an issue here. These big blobs of orcs, totally psyched up. Morale's not going to be a problem for them. Ridiculous leadership they have at the moment. So we've got to whittle them right down, cause lots of casualties, and bring their numbers down is the key to breaking their morale. That's the end of the turn. So it looks like 2 waves of orcs here. First wave has crashed in and has almost destroyed the 2 Mauler Fiends here. So good fighting from them. Sure, Mitch will be happy enough. Victory point picked up here. First blood picked up here, and then now controlling 4 objectives as well. So 6 points for the Orks, a very healthy start for them compared to the Thousand Sons 2. Just thinking tactically about the game, Thousand Sons I think need to concede the fact we're going to have to try and take these objectives later. We've got to try and deal with the Orks at the early stage of the game. Try and survive I think is the main key, and then try and move on to the objectives, hoping that the game goes on longer would be better I think for the Thousand Sons. But we need to do something about this green tide because it's on the rampage here at the moment. That's the end of turn 1 here for both sides. We'll go on to turn 2 now for the Thousand Sons. Their deep striking units are now available to appear anywhere on the board. Turn 2 coming up next for the Forces of Chaos. Right, so turn 2 movement here for the Thousand Sons. They've got to make an impact here to try and do damage to the Orks. Last time we killed about 5 Orc boys, so we've got to try and do better than that this time. So we have committed the reserves, so the Terminators, both units have turned up, and the Rubik Marines as well. Moving down here first of all, moving in with the Zangors, ready to fight. Remember, this unit of Orc boys here is not engaged in combat, so they're available to do Overwatch. Here we're moving the Sorcerers through. Airman, Chicken Wing, and Beaker all moving up. Regained a wound here automatically with the Mauler Fiend as it continues to fight in close combat. Disco Inferno's gone up here, jumping up with his Disco Zinch, moving up 6 with these, getting ready to charge in and try and help the Mauler Fiend. And then I've made an advance move here with the Demon Prince across in this direction to help out the reserves across the other side of the board. And round here, both units of Terminators deploying 9 inches away from the grots, and then the Rubik Marines deploying to their right-hand side. About 800 points here for the Thousand Sons now deploying on the left-hand flank, and then continuing to hold the objective here to keep a trickle of points coming in for the Thousand Sons at this stage. Right, so that's movement phase done. We're going to psychic phase next. Plenty of psychic powers available, and we'll see if they go off and what kind of trouble we can cause. Right, psychic phase complete here. A lot of wounds been dished out with Smite. Gift of Chaos went off as well. In total, 6 casualties here. Mitch making his 6+ feel no pain rolls, saving a number of them. 10 in total here on this boys squad locked in combat. We tried to Glamour of Zinch went off as well. So -1 to the hit rolls against the Mauler Fiend. Temporal Manipulation went off as well, so we've now gone up to 6 wounds in total, so we've back up to half strength there with the Mauler Fiend. Warp Time failed again, and despite a reroll as well, so the Demon Prince has not moved, so he'll sit where he is. Gaze of Fate went off from him, and we put a mortal wound there on the killer can, and then Doombolt went off here against these, causing 2 casualties, and their moves reduced to half speed. Zinch's Firestorm failed. Weaver of Fates did go off, so 4+ invuln save now granted to the Rubik Marines. So Psychophage is pretty good as far as causing casualties is concerned. We're trying to reduce this mob down as much as we can. Plenty of shooting now available for the Thousand Suns on their second turn. We're going to shooting phase next. Okay, so shooting phase resolved here for the Thousand Suns. 4 Warp Flamer pistols took out a load of the boys here. 14 lost from the squad now in total this turn. We've got 19 hits with those 4d6 shots, or 4d6 auto hits coming through from those pistols. That was from here, and then here, just about within range 6. Then come around here, the units that have arrived from the warp obliterated the grots, they're gone. And then down here, 5 of the tank busters destroyed, and also Hellfire missile racks and other weapons firing through took out 1 of the killer cans from this squad. So that's shooting done. Not too bad here from the Thousand Suns. They have caused a fair amount of casualties here against the Orks. We're going to combats next. We've got an issue here. We've got 2 units of Ork boys to try and destroy. We do have to be careful though how we approach this. There's 4 tank buster bombs inside here, so whichever unit does charge needs to be careful if we do charge at all. And then here, an ongoing combat. We may well just pile into this one. We'll see what happens. We're going to charges and possible overwatch next here for the Thousand Suns on turn 2. All right, so charges taking place here. We've lost 2 on Overwatch. We charge these first. Disco Infernos then come down the stairs, remove the staircase here just to make things a bit easier. So that's that situation there. And then Araman, Chicken Wing, and Beaker, and the Zangols have charged in here against these boys. A lot of boys to try and chew through, and we need to because there's power claws buried inside these squads here. Yeah, because we need to be careful with the Thousand Suns to get wipeouts here. Power claws have been absorbed. The 2 wounds taken up here, but across here there is a power claw still inside this boys' squad. The other issue is whether Mitch will interrupt play or not during combats as well. Once we've attacked with 1 round from one of these units, then the Orks would be able to spend 2 command points and interrupt play. No charges across this side at all, so it's all focused around here as the Thousand Suns try and deal with wave number 1 from the Orks. We're going to combat resolution next. Alright, so we're going to attack here first. It's been a difficult choice. Which unit of Zangor is trying to get the most amount of attacks before Mitch, most likely, I'm guessing, he'll probably interrupt with one of these units. So a fight here. 16 attacks in total with the 8 of them. So we need 3s to hit. We'll reroll 1s because we are Thousand Suns keyword and there's multiple sorcerers nearby. So we'll reroll these 2. Needing 3s, but they've failed. So then we'll be on 4s to wound. Strength 4. Alright, 5. It'll bypass the armour, but Mitch will get his 6+. Feel no pains here. Nope. None, alright. 5 brought down, but there'll be members of that squad still alive. Right, so Mitch is going to interrupt here at 40 might, and it's a cunning plan. He's done a consolidation move, immediately make a piling move, sorry. He's headed off towards Araman. He's allowed to do this here, so he's going to fight against him. So the knobs come through. It's going to be 9 attacks, which is 27 attacks against Araman, the ones that can reach him, and the knob as well, and the rest of the attacks are going to go into the Maul of Fiends. Araman could be brought down here if he's not careful. We'll go on to Mitch's attacks. Power Claw, need 4s.
Oh.
Missed. Needed a hit or 2 there. Okay, so now it's down to 27 attacks here. We've removed another set of staircases here. This is a real mash-up taking place in this area. Quite pivotal here if the Thousand Suns can try and deal with this unit of Ork boys. Do have the potential to do it. There's plenty of attacks available. But Mitch just seeing. Mitch is just getting his tray. Here it comes.
Can I put this down?
Yes. No, he's going to... It's a bit cumbersome, this thing. Here we go. But no cocked dice in the tray, which is a great thing. So he's looking for 3s against Araman. He's got a lot. That's good. Yeah, we're toughness 4, so we're looking for 4s to wound. Okay, that's the saves required. Unless I roll something very unworldly here, Araman should survive. He's taken a wound. All right, so we'll take that. That was not too bad. It was the Power Claw that could have done the damage, but it hasn't come through. So 1 wound taken. So we've got 18 attacks now coming in against the Maul of Fiend. That's the rest of the boys, 6 of them fighting. So yeah, the extra attack's not come through. This is below 20 now, so the extra attack that was there is not available. It's down to 3 attacks each now. So 18 attacks without the tray this time. Back to normal. It's looking for 4s this time because of Glamour of Tzeentch, the -1 to the hit rolls. And then 5s for wounds now. 4 wounds come through. We'll probably fail 1 or 2 of these. 3+. We have failed 2, so the wounds get knocked down to 4 now with the Maul of Fiend. Okay, so that's that combat resolved. We've just piled in here. We're going to continue on fighting now. It's Disco Inferno, needing 2s, and then needing 3s for wounds. What on earth? That's pretty rare that happens. We'll leave it at that. We'll say no more, and that will not be recorded in history. I was just taking what's happened with Disco there. Someone changed the music. Okay, so we'll go on to the attacks over here now. Right, so Ahriman with his attack. All right, so Ahriman next. 2s for hits, they've hit. 3s for wounds. Weird struggle here. Okay, -1, so down to it's 3 damage, so 666 required. We've seen a 111. No, all right. So a boy brought down. This is not enough here. This is from this squad. This is Ahriman. Yeah, this is Ahriman fighting across here. Okay. So we've just done attacks with discs, actually. Disco Inferno's disc failed to wound. And then here, Ahriman killed another one. Okay, so we're going to combine the 2 Exalted Sorcerers next. So it'll be 8 attacks in total with them into the boys. Rerolling 1s. And then 3s to wound. That's better. All right, so 7. These are all D3 here, so this will cause trouble. So it's -1, so it goes straight past the armour, and it's D3 on the first one, so 2 6s required.
Nope, so 1's killed.
1 6 required.
Nope.
No. Another 6 required for the next one.
Oh,
okay.
2 down. 2.
Another one. Needing a 6 as a cocked dice. No. D3 damage on the next one. 3 6s required.
No.
No, the next one, 3 6s required again. No, and the next one, 3 6s required. That's the last one, so it'll be 5. Yeah, 5 boys removed. Okay, so we've now moved in with the Zangors. We'll not only get half of them to fight, so it'll be 10 attacks of those. The others are sort of strung around behind the Maul of Fiend here. 3s to hit with these. We do get to reroll 1s. Because of the Exalted Sorcerers nearby. And it'll be on 4s to bypass the armour here. 0, nothing from them. They've struggled to wound as well. Alright, so that's them complete. Maul of Fiend is the last unit to fight. Okay, so 0 impact there from the Zangors as they try and hack their way through. Maul of Fiend to fight though. Maul of Fiend fists first of all. We get 2 hits. 2 wounds. Yeah, 2 wounds come through. That's 666 required for each of these. It's 3 damage a time. So no, and no. Alright, so 2 more boys. Lasher Tendrils next. Rerolling 1s because of the Exalted Sorcerers nearby. 3s to wound. Yes, 2 wounds come through. These are 2 damage a time. Nope, and no, so 2 more boys brought down. Right, so that's the turn finished here. Casualties coming through. Some morale to deal with. Mitch may be okay. We'll see what he can do about this here. There's breaking heads possibility with this squad at least. He might want to use a stratagem to auto-pass morale across here as well. Decisions to make for the Orks. Wave number 1 looks like it's been pretty well dealt with, but there's still a presence of them here. Wave number 2 is raring to go. They're beating their hands against their chest here, waiting for the orders to plunge in. And a great cry goes up from the green skin horde as they prepare to move out. But we'll end the turn here. So I have lost myself a victory point because we got carried away in the fight. So there's no one on this objective. So we'll just get 1 point for objectives. There's been some units wiped out. We'll calculate those towards the end of the game. Just 1. The Grots were pulverised by firepower across there. So a couple of points coming in for the Thousand Sons, but at this rate they will lose. And they know that. The pressure's on them. They've got to try and chew their way through this vast Ork force. But it's the early stage here in the game. We'll go on to the second turn now for the Orks as they prepare to respond to the aggression from the Thousand Suns Chaos Space Marines. Alright, so we've resolved some morale. Tank Busters in this corner rolled a 2, so they're fine. They've passed and not lost any models. Across here, I auto-passed here, rolled. Used a stratagem, 2 command points to auto-pass morale. Need them to hold their position. For the Zangors, we're now down to 3 command points left. Across here, Mitch melted away with this squad. These... it was breaking heads coming in from the war bosses here. D3 mortal wounds, 1 mortal wound, and then snake bites rolled a 6. So he was knocked down and then he got back up again into the fight. So that's morale resolved. Alright, so it's been more of an issue here with morale. The killer can had to roll up morale for that, rolled a 6. So it was 5 or less required. Mitch rolled a 6, so killer can has gone. He's not going to use a command point, he's saving it for another stratagem, so killer can destroyed just there. So there's a mob of 3 left now on the right hand side. Okay, so that's morale resolved. Not too bad here from the Thousand Suns. I think they can be happy enough with this turn, but the Orks poised to strike back, and they could hit back very hard indeed. The second wave is available here, and all these characters available also. So Thousand Suns have done their best to repel wave number 1, but wave number 2 could be even more powerful. As Mitch prepares to move out, and he looks set to gain a nice healthy amount of victory points as well for holding on to objectives. We'll go now on to turn number 2 for the Orks. Okay, movement here on turn 2. The shape of the game has changed. Mitch has played a 3-point stratagem here. What's it called again?
Unstoppable Green Tide.
Unstoppable Green Tide. That's an adequate description for what we see before us here. So he's removed the 6 boys. He moved the 6 boys first and then removed them at the end of the movement phase. These have turned up. They have to be wholly within your 6 inches of a board edge. So they've turned up there and 9 inches away from enemy models. So they are poised for a charge potentially. Grots have moved up. Tank Busters have moved up as well. So this objective nice and secure here. And the edge of these will pick up a point here if they don't move, but that one's up for grabs. So surge ahead here, a regular move of 5 for those, an advanced move made by the regular boys. The characters have all made their advanced moves, they'll still be able to charge. Across here, a temporary withdrawal. Killer cans have pulled back to the gun line here, just to take pot shots at the Terminators and the Rubik Marines. But it has left that objective over there open for the Thousand Suns to go after. Tank Busters have pulled back as well, just to hold on to this objective for now. So that's movement complete. We'll go on to Psychic Phase next. We reckon the game will hinge around what happens here. Whoever emerges from this, the stronger, I think will go on to win the game. We'll go on to Psychic Phase next. Okay, Psychic Phase complete here. Warpath was cast on a 7. We denied. Then +3 for the number of Ork boys and Ork units nearby made it a 10. We rolled a 10, but we denied with Araman. He's on +1 to deny the witch, so it became an 11, and the power was denied. So Psychic Phase complete. We'll go now on to Shooting Phase next for the Orks on turn 2. Alright, so in the middle of Shooting Phase here, the Zangors have gone. That was firepower coming from Sluggers, and shooters from this squad managed to bring those down. Can't shoot with these because they advanced. Here, some assault shots coming through from these custom shooters here. No damage on the Zangors. No, it was firepower. The most damage came from these shooters. Good firepower coming in from them. So around this side now, 3 rockets are going to come in against the middle unit of Terminators here. So 4s for hits. That's a fine display from these grots here. 2 wounds come through. I think they're shooting better because they've retreated away from trouble. So they're happy about that, and so they've got themselves 2 wounds here. -2, so we'll go to a 4+ save. Should we pass 1? 3 damage, one of the Terminators can be removed. It's been slain here by one of these rockets. Okay, so the guns are going to fire now. Useful artillery support here. This one's fired 3 shots. This is the Smasher guns firing, and 1 hit. It is subject to Daka. You do get an extra shot.
Oh, did I roll a 6?
Yes. So another 6. So good. This is against the Mauler Fiend here.
First one.
It's trying to
Strength
beat
9.
the toughness. Strength 9 is fine. That goes through. And the other one? 6. No. Right. So 1 gets through. It's -4. So we'll drop to a 5-up invuln save to try and protect him. Yes. A 6 rolled. Mauler Fiend's still alive. It's got 4 wounds left.
Do the second
Same gun? Yes. Next gun. D3 shots. 1 shot. needing a 4. No. And then the next smasher gun here. D3 shots, 1 shot. Does hit, and it's toughness 7. Does wound, equal to, yeah. And then we'll go for 5 up invuln save. Oh. I rolled a 6. Invuln's, the Maul of Fiend's still alive. Right, so shooting resolved here. I think Mitch will be happy. He's cleared away this Zangor screen. It's opened the way up to these characters here, and Mitch has all of his characters lined up to charge in. We have 2 command points left, so we could interrupt. May need to interrupt here to stand any chance. And it's more than likely this unit of boys is going to make it into close combat. And at a long stretch, possibly these. We'll go on to charges and Overwatch next for the Orks here on the second turn. Again, the game pivots around the centre point in the board. Whoever emerges from this the stronger may go on to win the game. But we'll see. We'll go on to charges and Overwatch next. Right, so assaults have taken place very close. The Kroots whisker away from getting into close combat with them, but they haven't made it. Ork boys have made contact. They charged first. No damage from Overwatch, just one of the Warp Flame pistols in range, but didn't cause any wounds. And then the characters, Mitch has made room for the characters to make it in. The Wow Banner and the 2 war bosses here going after Disco Inferno, Araman, and declaring a charge here against Chicken Wing as well. So, as you said, whoever triumphs here will determine the rest of the game for sure. So Thousand Suns just need to try and survive at this point here. The attacks coming in, and then try and fight back and cause trouble. Mitch is going to go after Araman here, aware that the Thousand Suns we could use our last 2 command points to interrupt here. So it's Head Whopper's Kill Chopper relic being used against Araman coming up next. The big mech has charged in as well, by the way. Okay, so attacks coming. Head Whopper's Kill Chopper here from the war boss.
3 hits.
Yeah, 2s to wound, strength 6 plus 2.
Oh
boy. Okay.
That's 2 mortal wounds from that.
Oh no.
Instead of the normal
damage.
Yeah.
Okay. Ouch. Anything else? That's it. 2 mortal wounds caused so far. Yeah. All right. So that's Head Whopper's Kill Chopper. Maybe cut off Araman's arm here. So, so he's Ahriman is single Ahriman now, with one of his arms removed by Head Whopper's Kill Chopper. He swung for the head and took off an arm. All right. So, do we interrupt? Is the question. All right. So yeah, we are going to fight back here. The last 2 command points used up. Helm of the Third Eye. We failed to roll a 5+. So Ahriman will fight the other war boss, the one with the claw. So 2s for hits. 3s for wounds. Oh, please. 1 wound comes through. Whatever happens, it's not going to be enough. So Mitch can make a save here of... it's -1, so it'll be 5+. Oh, please. Oh, no. Ahriman has struck out here. Has failed. I think the wound has affected his ability to fight. He's surely doomed. He's got 2 wounds left, and there's going to be a tray full of attacks here from these Ork boys. We'll let Mitch press on with all of his chargers fighting, which is going to be everybody else here in this combat. Right, so attacks coming in here. This is a number of boys attacking Chicken Wing here, looking for 2s to hit here, is because the Wow Banner is nearby. 4s to wound. Yeah, if we roll terribly, we'll die here. 5 wounds caused. Past all of them. All right, so Chicken Wing is going to survive, I think. All right, so next slot of attacks. There'll be a lot more. Getting the tray ready here. That was just 3 Ork boys attacking. So 2 boys against Ahriman here. 8 attacks, needing 2s. 2s is incredible. It's good use of the Wow Banner here. It's the best use of it I've seen in the game for the Orks. Looking for 4s to wound. That may well be enough to kill him. He's got... how many wounds left? 1? 2 wounds left. 3s. Oh, no re-rolls left. So 1 wound left. We've taken another wound here on Ahriman. We'll just drop a wound in there. So this is the claw now being used against Disco Inferno. 3s for hits would usually be 4s.
Strength 10.
2s to wound. Invuln saves of 5+. Otherwise Disco Inferno could be the end of the party for him. No, he's a goner. Destroyed. Yeah, 2d3. Ouch. Alright, so he's gone. Disco Inferno is dead. Right, this is 24 attacks. So looking for 2s. Looking for 3s, sorry, Mitch, because of the Glamour of Zinch, the -1 to the hit rolls there. So 3s for hits. This is attacks. Last of the attacks actually going against the Maul of Fiend. All of these boys now redundant because of Disco out of the game, and consolidation or piling moves has already been done. So 5s for wounds. God, this could be enough to destroy the Mauler Fiend. That'll be a deadly blow here for the Thousand Suns if they lose this monstrous creature. 3+ save. Oh, pretty hot dog here. Just 1 wound taken. So that's the boys finished. Next is the Wire Banner that Mitch is going to choose him. He's going to try and take out Araman.
2 hits.
3s to wound. Yeah, must be 3s at least to wound here. Strength 7, toughness 4. 2 wounds come through. AP minus.
Nothing.
3+ save. I have no rerolls left. Ah, passed. Oh boy, and that would have been 2 damage.
Yeah.
Okay. Araman has 1 wound remaining, and there is a war boss left to fight. Okay, 3+. 2 hits. Yeah, no, it's a war boss fighting. It's 2s to hit because of the +1 coming in for the Wire Banner.
Wound.
Oh no. Alright, so 4+ invuln save. We'll do these one at a time just for tension. Probably won't even get the first one. Oh, crumbs. This is it's a cock dice, yeah, okay. A roll again. That's a 5. Next one. There's a 2, and that's it, he's gone. Now we can do nothing about that. Okay, Araman destroyed, well done. He's not the Warlord actually, but one of the key psychers here for the Thousand Suns removed. One of the most potent is now dead. Right, so fighting back. Heroic Intervention, it's too late. We should have done that after all the charge moves have been made, and it was a consolidation move that, or a pilot move that brought Mitch all the way around here, so he can't react at all. This one can fight against the boys, so can the Zangors. We'll pile in with those, and the Mauler Fiend can fight as well, just to try and bring some of these Orc boys down. So Chicken Wing can reroll. Yep, and then 3s for wounds. 2 wounds come through. It's -1, so the first one causes 3 wounds, so 666 required to keep one of these boys alive. This is 666, no, and the next one D3 damage, 2 6s required to keep another boy alive. Almost, no, a 6 and a 4, so 2 Orc boys brought down. So Mauler Fiend next, 2 attacks now because of the damage, rerolling 1s, we get a hit, weapon skill doesn't change here for the damage, and that's a wound. That's 3 6s required to keep one of these boys alive. That's the Mauler Fiend fists.
Nope.
No, okay, and then Lasher Tendrils needing 4s, rerolling 1s. Yep, and then 4s for wounds because we're strength 4 now. They come through, and these are 2 damage a time, so 6 required, 6 required again, and 6 required again. No, alright, so 3 more Orc boys brought down. So 17 attacks here. 2 of the Zangors couldn't make it into the fight. We'll re-roll these 1s. Need 3s. So not bad. That was a miss. That's it. 4s to bypass the arm here. It's AP -1 for the Zangor blades. And then Mitch needs some 6s here to try and keep these alive. It's another 6 saves to make. Need 6s, this feel no pain. Okay, so one of them saved. Another 5 Orc boys brought down. So combat's resolved. Morale has been it's sorted out here. It's auto pass across there for the Terminators. Down here, morale no problem at all for these boys. There's still a large mob of them, and that's about it. Yeah, and there's no our units are dead. The ones that would be affected by morale. Zangors are gone. So fresh unit of Zangors here, and the characters continue. So still the fight continues around here. We thought perhaps this would be resolved either way. I was thinking the Orcs would burst through, but the Thousand Suns have held. But we've lost some key characters for sure. Mitch will pick up 4 victory points, plus all of the bonuses for destroying units. He's always killed 3 this turn. Zangors, Araman, and also Disco Inferno, so 3 kill points there. And then he does hold this one, that one, and then the tank busters around here hold this one. So 4 points picked up. So surging well ahead now for the Orcs, dominating the table at this stage and causing more destruction. So we'll go now on to turn 3 for the Thousand Suns. We're approaching the middle stage of the game. They've got to do something to get onto these objectives. The Orcs are beginning to race away with points here. No matter what happens, no matter how many units we destroy, if Mitch picks up a whole load of victory points here for holding on to these objectives, then he'll go on to win the game. But it's not over yet. Plenty of fight left in this Thousand Suns force. But they've got to be crafty and cunning here if they're going to turn the game around. We'll go on to their turn 3 next. All right, so we're on turn 3 here for the Thousand Suns, just thinking carefully about what to do. There is an objective that's open now, but Terminators are a bit slow. I think they're 4-inch move with them, so they're gradually going to drag their feet across the table here, making dust as they go. Round here, do we continue the combat or pull out? These Orc boys need to be dealt with, but there's some nasty characters buried in amongst them as well. So it's an interesting clash. Hordes here of Orcs, definitely one of the largest hordes that we've seen in the 2,000-point game, versus a very elite, psychic-heavy Thousand Suns force. But the two armies are locking horns quite well here. It's not a whitewash either way. We'll see if the Thousand Suns can try and readdress the balance of this game. We'll go on to the movement phase now. Alright, movement complete here for the Thousand Suns on their third turn. Demon Prince has advanced only an inch though. We've used all our command points up, so we couldn't reroll. 13 inches jumped up and over here. Mauler Fiends remained in combat, so too have the Zangors. We pulled out of combat with Chicken Wing, and then Beaker's gone up the stairs. We put the stairs back and made good use of that as an escape route here for these characters. Then across here, Terminators on the move. These ones line themselves up to shoot through this gap and at the tank busters, and these moving 4 heading off in this direction. And the Rubic Marines, who played Dark Matter Crystal, the relic was being held there by the Demon Prince, selected a unit within 12 at the end of the movement phase, and we have jumped the Rubic Marines round to here to ambush the other unit of tank busters. That's movement done. Psychic phase coming up next to the Thousand Suns here on turn 3. Alright, so Psychic phase complete here. Smite being used. Closest model was the War Boss here from Beaker. 2 mortal wounds caused. 4 boys killed here from Smite as well. Glamour of Zinch has gone off against on the Demon Prince, so -1 to the hit rolls against him. We perilled here. Yes, we perilled on a double 1. Took 2 wounds, then used temporal manipulation to put the wounds back on again. So it's back up to full strength. We were hoping to restore the wounds onto the Mauler Fiend, but instead we're going to try and help the Demon Prince there. We fouled with Weaver of Fates here with those. Then Zinch's Firestorm did go off, caused a mortal wound here against the mech gun. Then the other power here was low-level Smite, which went off and actually caused 2 mortal wounds in total. Rolled up a good result on that one and put 2 mortal wounds on the Killer Can. So that's Psychic phase complete. It's okay, it's not too bad. We do miss the other 2 sorcerers there. Araman could have dished out a lot of mortal wounds, and Disco Inferno as well. But that's Psychic phase finished. Shooting phase next to the Thousand Suns here on turn 3. Right, so shooting phase complete here. Warp Flame Pistol fired against the Big Mech. He's out of combat at the moment, but no damage against him. Pulled out of combat here, couldn't fire the Warp Flame Pistol with Chicken Wing, and that was all the shooting across here. The ambush down here went okay. Rubic Marines firing caused 4 wounds. We're hoping to cause more, but just 4 wounds there against the tank busters. And then across the other side here, firepower from these reduced the tank busters down. There's just 2 of them left. And then firepower here fired everything that we had into one of the mech guns and destroyed it as the Hellfire missile racks, causing trouble. So one of those guns destroyed just there. Thousand Suns dishing out some damage here, but they're not picking up objectives. That's the problem for them at this stage. We'll go on to charges and Overwatch next, as the Thousand Suns try and deal with the Orks in this area here in particular. Right, so charges taking place here, and Mitch has thrown a grenade. What's it called again? The
Brog's Buzz Bomb.
Brog's Buzz Bomb was thrown. 3 wounds here on him, and then the bomb bounced and then caused 3 casualties here on the Zangors. So a stupid Orc invention has been thrown in the middle of this fight here, causing trouble all over the place. So that's a 1 use only, fascinating relic. It's a relic, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So that's the Overwatch done. Some custom shooter fire as well as the Demon Prince closed in. He's declared a charge against everybody, has made contact within an inch of everybody there with him. So he's charged in as well. Beaker has gone into combat there against the Red War Boss there. He can charge, and the Rubic Marines across the other side are not going to charge. It's too far away. We don't want to receive the Overwatch. So again, this is an interesting combat. I was going to say it's the focal point here, but it could just be a distraction whilst There's no objectives, whilst Mitch is harvesting objectives here all across the board. The Orks distracting the Thousand Suns here, and we're piling in with a lot of elite stuff, but to what end? There's no bonus here apart from kill points being picked up. But the Warlord's there. We'll press on and try and get a bit of revenge for Ahriman, is the cry from... Well, I was going to say from the Zangals, I'm not sure what language they speak, but the sorcerers here will seek the revenge of Ahriman's downfall. We'll go on to combat resolution next here on turn 3 of the Thousand Suns. Right, so combat's here. We're going to fight with Beaker first of all. He's going to go against the red war boss. It's just a war boss. The warlord is this one here. So 2s to hit. All hit. 3s to wound. Toughness 5. Yeah, 3s to wound. 2 wounds to get through. 2 saves of 5+, or it'll be D3 damage. Oh, why? At any point in the game, you roll 2 6s, it's now. Just as we needed 2 D3 damage against him, we have failed. All right, that is a very, very good result. It's down to the Demon Prince now fighting. So we'll fight with the Zangors next. 3s to hit, rerolling 1s. Almost got all of the hits coming through there. And then we'll be on 4s for wounds. So 6, 7 saves to make here. That's -1 actually, so we're just looking for feel no pains here to try and keep some of these Ork boys alive. None of them. Alright, 7 Ork boys brought down. Right, so we've done the Zangor's attacks a bit out of sync. We should have done the Demon Prince first, but we've said that the results aren't really going to matter, so we'll leave that as it stands. We'll do his attacks now. Once he's finished, it will then be Mitch's turn to fight back. So I'm going to put all of my attacks into the Warlord here. So that's the War Boss without any wounds on at all. 7 attacks we get needing 2s. We can reroll 1s. So we've got... Okay, we need 3s to wound. This is going to be close here. Oh, they get through. Right, so there's 6 wounds have been caused, 2 damage a time. So Mitch needs 6s to stay alive.
How many? 3?
Yeah, so 6 plus armor saves. Save 1, that's great. So this war boss is going to survive. And then 4 for 6 is here required. He gets 2. Unbelievable. Very, very good result. So 2 wounds on here, 4 remain on the Warlord. Alright, so failed here. So that's that resolve. That continues just as it is. Then we would have played this combat. We've got our results. We'll do a final consolidation move with the Zangors and then move on to Mitch's choice of combat next. So we've consolidation with the Zangors they've got in. He finds himself out of combat now, so you have to be within an inch to then make a piling move. He's not, so the Mauler Fiend is now out of combat and will not take part in the fight now. Mitch has just rolled up 2s for hits with the War Boss. Who are these attacks going into?
Into this.
Into the Warlord here.
Relic axe.
Okay, Head Whoppers, Kill Chopper.
Strength 8.
3s to wound. That's mortal wounds. I think that's almost killed us.
He's got 1 wound left.
Well, 1 wound left. Okay, we're almost dead.
Yeah.
Unbelievable results here. Good stuff from Head Whoppers, Kill Chopper.
All hit.
This is the way about fighting here. Needing 2s.
5.
2 wounds. This is against
The Sphinx.
Sphinx.
No,
So 3+ save. He's gone.
2 damage.
He's gone. Okay, no, he's destroyed. So Demon Prince, Warlord, kill here. That's 2 more victory points. I reckon the game is now definitely in favour of the Orks. So yeah, Mitch still getting his hits. We were using Glamour of Zinch, they're -1 to hit rolls, but then the Wire Banner cancelling back out again. So Mitch still getting his hits fine coming through there. So he's dead. We'll remove him from play. Alright, so Mitch doing his attacks here. Another wound caused. That was the claw here coming through. So 4 casualties so far. Now he's doing all of his regular boy attacks. Piling move's been made. This is all of the attacks coming in. Needing 2s. That Wire Banner has been unit of the game. It really is helpful for everybody. Very good use. So Orks fighting on foot, big units, lots of HQ choices. That's a great choice to take.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
4s for wounds, yes, because of toughness 4 for the Zangors. 5 pluses with our invuln save. We've saved 2. We've taken 5 casualties. That could be the wipeout that Mitch is looking for. Alright, so not quite a wipeout. The Twist Bray's just here, but the rest of the squad has been destroyed. Mitch can now make a consolidation move if he wishes, to closing closer to the Twist Bray that's just there. Alright, so there's still attacks to come back from the War Boss here against Beaker.
Oh, double.
2 misses, but 2 hits come through. It could be enough to kill him. 3's to wound. Or 2's to wound. Yeah, 2's to wound. Alright, we drop down to a 5+ invuln save. Oh no, please. 2d3. Yeah, 4. That's enough. He's gone. Beaker has been destroyed here as well. The Orks are smashing the Thousand Suns here in close combat. It's not where we want it to be. Close combat's not as good. We're okay in close combat, but not against buzz bombs and big choppers and head whoppers and so on, causing trouble here for the Thousand Suns for sure. And the game has definitely tipped in favour of the Orks. It was hard to call it for a while there. Thousand Suns causing trouble, but now with the loss of some key characters, a slide has begun towards defeat. Okay, so turn finished here. Morale's been resolved. The tank busters around the corner there behind the hill, they've gone. They melted away. Past morale across here with those tank busters, and then the twist spray melted away there as well. Overwhelmed by the brutality of the Orks here in this area. That's the end of the turn. We'll go on to turn 3 now for the Orks. They should be able to expand out here and start mopping up the Thousand Suns here. Well, there's still toughness on the table. The Rubic Marines are tough enough. There's 9 Terminators across there, but sort of out of position. Mitch should be able to continue to bring these points in for holding these objectives. So tactically, Orks definitely in control here. They are dominating and destroying at this stage. We've picked up 1 point for holding this objective over here, so a trickle of points still coming in, but nowhere near enough to match the Orks. We'll go on to Ork turn 3 next. Alright, so movement here. Orks beginning to fan out to start the mopping up process. So, Ork boys have headed across this direction to secure this objective. That'll get Mitch another point. These have moved and advanced only an inch. They're heading off in this direction. Grots have switched places now with the tank busters to provide a screen. Mitch has 1 command point left to make use of the Grot screen, shield ball, whatever it's called. Yeah. Human shield, Grot shield, that's it, Grot shield. Across here. Did these advance, these ones? No. Just a regular move from them. The HQ is starting to move around to this area here, making advanced moves, and then holding position with the guns. And again, the killer cans falling back, not wanting to engage or get too close to the Terminators across the other side of the board. That's movement done. Oh, no, one other move has been done here. Climbed up the side, climbed up the pole, and behind Chicken Wing, who's about to be attacked from behind by Head Whoppers Kill Chopper. And you can imagine this happening. Swinging the axe, the head coming off and it bouncing 1 step at a time down to the bottom of the stairs. All right, so we'll go now on to Psychic Phase next here for the Orks. I think they're enjoying themselves here, taking on the Thousand Suns. All right, so Psychic Phase Warpath went off, perilled, just because of the pluses involved here with all of the boys nearby. 1 mortal wound taken, but it has gone off, and Mitch has cast it onto here, the Warboss, the Warlord, fighting on top of this walkway. So, Psychic Phase finished, shooting phase next for the Orks here on turn 3. Right, so we're going to capture some of the main shooting here. Grots are going to fire 9 shots into the Rubic Marines. So they get Daka. They do.
They must do, yeah.
We'll check. We're just going to check to see if it's in their profile, because if it is, this is ridiculous shooting from these little blighters. They do get it, all right, so we just check the rules.
5 extra shots.
You roll 5 more 6s, I'll concede. That's a cock dice. But those are hits though, aren't they? Yeah, okay. So a load of hits coming through here.
Toughness.
4. 5's to wound. I don't believe this. 5 saves. Right, all is dust, and so it should be for this kind of firepower being sent our way. 2 pluses for saves. Oh, just about. Oh dear, the humiliation of a Rubic Marine falling to the shots coming from one of these would have been terrible, but no, Grot Firepower has not brought down any of these Chaos Space Marines. Right, so 2 killer can shots are going to go against the Rubic Marine, so Grot's using some heavier firepower. 1 hit. Does wound. -2. So 5 up invuln save. Passed on a 6. We have pulled out a number of invuln saves here in this game. So that one's not gone through.
So this is tank busters onto that.
Yes, right. Yeah. Okay, so tank buster shots coming in here, then 5s. That's a 3. Okay, so we are on
Rerolls.
Rerolls, yes, because of... No, okay, so we've got 2 hits coming through. 3's to wound with toughness 7. It's good. 2 wounds come through. We'll go to 5+ invuln save. I fail both of these. We'll die. Dull, please. Wall of Fiend's gone.
I want him to explode and kill our character.
We do not explode. Alright, so Maul of Fiend destroyed. Another blow here for the Thousand Suns. Could have used him, but Tank Busters. That's why I went after Tank Busters early in this game, because we know the damage. I'm an Orc player myself. I'm fully aware of what Tank Busters can do. But we failed to destroy them, and the Maul of Fiend is gone. Right, so we've resolved the rest of the firepower here. Rubric Marines took some wounds from these 2 killer cans, but we passed. There, but across here, another Terminator brought down. That was firepower coming from the Smasher guns. And then across here, the shooters firing up, and a big shooter as well. That caused 3 wounds in total on Chicken Wings. He's almost dead. He teeters here at the edge of the stairs, about to be pushed down by the Orc Warlord here, perhaps to his death, or after he's had his head removed, probably by the kill chopper. Oh, look what's happening here. It's American football style. So the Psyker here, the weird boy, is calling for the ball, and he's about to swing with the head whopper, lob the head off, and see if he can make the catch. But we're all up for that a bit later. We're going to shooting's finished. Charges and Overwatch next. Yes, all right. So charges and Overwatch coming up next. All right. So charges have gone ahead. A wound caused here. Warp Flame Pistol against the War Boss. So he's on 3 wounds. And then down here, a load of hits, but no wounds come through against the Killer Cans. So they've made it into combat there against the Rubric Marines. That's a good result. That's that unit in big trouble. So we'll go on to combat resolution next. So head whoppers, kill chopper. See if we can make the swing here. Okay. That's the 2 mortal wounds needed. He's done it. So the head has come flying off the body of the exalted sorcerer, and he swings. So what would you need on the dice to catch it?
I don't know. What do you reckon?
5+.
5.
5 or 6 to catch the head. He's got a 5. Well done. Touchdown here at the Orcs. The game's turned into a game of sport here, playing with the heads of their fallen foes. Oh dear, look, the crowd goes wild here. They're to their feet as the catch is made. All right, so the game's descended into anarchy here, which is just how the Orcs like it. Right, so that's that one done. So the limp body now just falls down the stairs to here. It's all over for him. They think it's all over. It is now. Okay, so we'll go over into this corner here as the Killer Cans charge in against the Rubric Marines. Right, so 5s for hits. It's not bad. There's extra attacks here because it's a mob of 3 or more. Strength 7. So it's 8, strength 8 here, so 2s for wounds. They've all wounded, looks bad, but they've all made it through. -3, so we'll go to a 5+ invuln save. Oh, no, we've just lost 4 Rubric Marines here. Nasty stuff. So I didn't flame these, by the way, on Overwatch because Mitch was just over 8 inches away. You do have to still measure ranges as normal for shooting for Overwatch. We'll fight back here with the Rubric Marines. Do have this stave. That could cause trouble, so we'll get some results here. All right, so 2 attacks with the stave. Do get the 2 hits. 3s for wounds. 2 wounds do come through. It's -1. It's 2 saves of 4+ required by the Orcs here. Oh, 6 and 4. Okay. 5 attacks now with the regular Rubric Marines. It's desperate stuff here. It's struggling to cause trouble. 3s for hits. 5s for wounds. 2 wounds come through and not bring one of these cans down. 3+ normal save. Failed once. Another wound taken, but the can's pretty good at absorbing damage. Alright, so combat's resolved. Morale's been resolved as well. Auto pass with the lone Terminator. We rolled well enough to pass here, no problem at all, and that marks the end of the turn. Mitch will pick up 1, 2, 3 objective points here, and some more kill points, loads of kill points. We're going to concede with the Thousand Suns here. All hope, I think, is lost. We don't stand a chance now. Yes, we could take the fight to some of these Orc units, but we're not going to be able to get onto these objectives here. So we'll get a final score. We were talking about the breaking point being here. There were 2 points of the game where it broke in the wrong direction here for the Thousand Suns. The first was the loss of Araman and Disco Inferno, and then the second breaking point was the loss of the Demon Prince once he was gone. I think all hope for the Thousand Suns was beginning to vanish away, and so the Orcs will dominate the sector here. It's been a good game though. It's been enjoyable. 2 different styles of play. Both armies that are actually very fun to use. Really enjoy using the Thousand Suns, and Orcs are great fun as well. We've had some great sporting moments here in this battle as well. We'll get a final score though. Work out final score here for victory points. Okay, so final score we have here. Both armies into double figures for their points, but the Orks miles ahead here. 22 points picked up by them. So about half those points were for their objectives being achieved, and then Slay the Warlord was achieved, First Blood was achieved as well, and then the destruction of the Thousand Sons units was another 9 points, so 22 points in total. For the Thousand Sons, we picked up some points for objectives, and we managed to kill 5 units, and we've got Line Breaker. It was 5 units, and we got Line Breaker down here as well, so we conceded anyway, but it's 22 points to 11, so Orks have won by a long shot here in this battle. But it's been enjoyable, and the game could have swung in different directions depending on what happened there, but the way it played out, brutal attacks here by the Orks, primitive fighting from them, but it ruled the day here, and the eliteness of the Thousand Sons wasn't enough. They were overwhelmed by the sheer brutality and raw fighting power of the Orks, and a buzz bomb and a head whoppers kill chopper as well. That's the end of the game. Great battle. Keep a lookout for more Challenger Scorpion episodes on the channel, and thanks to Mitch Farrington for coming down and bringing all of his Orks along to fight in this episode. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time. Right, so we're just discussing units of the game here. Multiple choices, especially for the Orks. And also, just to mention, we don't have names for these 2 war bosses here. The one with head whoppers, kill chopper, and the red one there with the buzz bomb. So, well, you've got Whopper and Buzz. I think that was pretty good. If you can think of better names, then leave it in the comment section below. So it's going to go to the wire banner here.
Yeah.
Fine, a brilliant choice. The amount of +1s is just incredible. So really a great enhancement for the Orks. And for any Ork players watching, if you've got hordes of Orks, the War Banner needs to be centrally positioned amongst your units. For the Thousand Sons, Zangors weren't too bad. Their fighting was pretty good. The sorcerers died quite early. They weren't really able to make too much of an impact. They're really designed to last through to the end of a game. I'm going to give it to the Terminators. They landed, wiped out a lot of infantry. Caused trouble over here, destroying a gun, causing trouble for the killer cans as well, and pretty solid, and lasted through to the end of the game. Just a bit slow, and wondering if it would have been wiser to bring them down in amongst the main fight. But that's units of the game for both sides.